Hello, I'm Greg Jamian, and thank you for watching Boomer Health at Home, the show where we explore the most relevant healthcare topics impacting the baby boomer generation today. As more and more baby boomers seek answers to many times difficult healthcare questions, our goal is to provide ideas, tips, and cutting-edge solutions that will help improve your everyday life and health. It is our hope that you find the following information helpful as you sit back and watch Boomer Health at Home.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Boomer Health at Home, the show where we provide useful information to help you live a happy, healthy life. Joining me today is my co-host, Brett Pulte.
Hey Ryan, it's great to be here.
Brett, welcome to the show. It's great to have you here. So, what are we discussing today?
Well, today we're actually bringing in from Sun Medical Equipment Company, John Jamian. He's going to be explaining to us differences in oxygen concentrators.
Well, that's fantastic. I know we actually received an email with this very question recently at our show, of course, boomerhealth at maricaremedical.com, and we're happy to service these emails and answer your questions. So if you at home have more questions, please send them in. We can do a show on it just like that. So what kind of things are we going to discuss?
Well, with John, he's going to be talking about the different products available for people on the market, to get them back into a mobile and happy lifestyle. He's going to tell us how to determine, the best concentrator for you. And then he's also going to show us the benefits of the pulse dose oxygen concentrators compared to the continuous flow concentrators. He's also going to give us the overall benefits of portable oxygen. So it's going to be a great show, very informative, and he's one of the best people to actually tell us about this because he's been doing it for so long and he's so knowledgeable on the topic.
Well, very good. Sounds like we got a lot of great information. For this and more, don't go away. Welcome back to the show, and welcome John Jamian, the Director of Business Development for Sun Medical is here. I want to thank you, first of all, for coming on the show today.
No problem. I'm happy to be here, Ryan.
So, John, we received an email from one of our viewers, and I'll read you the email. It says, "Dear Boomer Health Show, I am currently on O2 to treat a lung condition. I've seen different products out there that give people back their mobility. I have grandkids that are just getting into sports and theater. What are the best products out there that can help me attend these events? Also, I would like a recommendation for a product that can be used discreetly." John, what would you recommend for this viewer?
Well, in this particular case, or in many cases with people that are on oxygen therapy with lung problems, the problem for them is when they want to be mobile or ambulate and get around, the traditional way things were handled were with portable tanks. And people really didn't like walking around with portable tanks. They were heavy, they run out pretty quickly. We have a brand new product that we're going to be talking about today that really is the perfect solution for somebody like this with grandkids. They like to get out, they want to go to games, they want to go to the park. And it's a portable miniature oxygen concentrator, which will provide them with continual oxygen for their therapy.
Now, with the product that you're saying, now what's the biggest advantage of it, other than being able to, go wherever they want to? Like, how is it going to replace the old tank?
The biggest advantage of this particular product, which is the Imogen G4 miniature or personal oxygen concentrator, is its weight. It's 2.8 pounds. For 2.8 pounds, I don't know about you, but my briefcase, my wife's purse is probably heavier than that. Yeah. It's very easy to carry with you, and you can carry it discreetly. You can actually tuck it under your winter coat if you want. And so that is the real advantage, because now you're able to get out and go places and not worry about carrying a traditional oxygen cylinder that's this big and weighs much more than this.
Right, yeah, the cylinders were what we see people kind of carrying around, almost like a little wagon behind them on a little cart and stuff like that. So something 4 pounds they can wear almost like a purse. And does it produce the same as a tank, or what's the difference between the production of oxygen on the two?
Well, one produces oxygen out of the 21% oxygen that's in the air we breathe today. It filters the oxygen, expels all the argon and carbon gases, and gives you a 98% oxygen rate coming out of the machine. The other one is called a reservoir, which is the tank, and that merely stores oxygen. So the difference is one produces oxygen, so it'll always produce oxygen. The other one is just a reservoir that holds oxygen for a certain period of time and then it runs empty.
So basically what you're saying is it's never going to run out. You're not going to have to run back to the car and get a new tank out, put it in your carrier, and hook all your stuff back up. It's just there.
You know, Brett, anybody that's on oxygen, if they've been on the traditional tanks, the one thing that they know is that they can expect a weekly delivery by their oxygen supplier of more tanks and more tanks at their house. They have to carry their tanks. They have to worry when their tanks are empty. In this particular situation, when you're manufacturing oxygen, the best part about it is that you never have to worry about running out of tanks, running out of oxygen. In fact, this particular unit, besides being battery powered, like your cell phone, you can recharge it in your car, recharge it in your home. So it's a wonderful new opportunity for people that are on oxygen therapy to get out and start living their life.
And you mentioned that this product here is revolutionary to the portable oxygen market. How does this differ from some of the other products that are on the market already?
There's a lot of oxygen concentrators, that's what we call them. They're machines, like I said, that manufacture oxygen out of the air that we breathe. Those machines can be anywhere from 40 pounds. They're called stationary units. They sit by your bed or somewhere in your house with a long nasal cannula, a tube, so that you can breathe the oxygen. You cannot take those machines out. They're plugged into the wall, and that's where they are. And those are the kind of machines that require a tank. So if you want a small tank, if you need to go to the doctor's office or shopping. The difference is that there are many different oxygen concentrators out there, different weights, different sizes. They give different liter flows. At the end of the day, this particular little unit can do most of that heavy lift. The only people that are not suitable for a personal oxygen concentrator, one that you can move around with, are people with fibrotic lung disease. In that particular situation, and that's kind of rare, it's not real common, in that particular situation, they're going to need continuous liter flow, maybe 5 liters continually. They're not going to be able to ambulate anywhere pretty much unless they have to go to the doctors. So that's the exception. Most people that are on oxygen therapy today can actually qualify to use this particular unit.
That's wonderful, especially being able to get away from those big stationary units. I remember my grandmother at one point had to use one, and it was on wheels, but it was still, like you said, 40 pounds.
Right.
The wheels aren't going to roll well over carpet, and so we end up having about 50 to 80 feet of tube running throughout the house. And I'm sure that gigantic run of tubing, you're not going to get as good of quality as you are as something that you can actually keep with you.
Sure, and like the person wrote in, if they're going to school events, they're crowded, every grandparent's going to the theater, that they're saying, if you're carrying the tank around, where are you going to put it? You got to pick your seats and all that. This is portable enough where they could just sit next to them, hold on to it themselves, and still get their dosage of oxygen. So, nice.
This particular machine, it's called the Imogen G4. And this particular machine, it is an incredible piece of technology. I've been in the oxygen business for a long time. I used to sell those 40-pound machines years and years ago. They're still out there. But when you look at that machine that's almost the size of a nightstand, compared to what we have today, this little unit can produce the same results in terms of effective therapy. And it's because of the technology, which actually delivers pulse dose. So when you talk about that long tubing, Brett, the unique thing is that when you have that long tubing, you lose a little bit of that oxygen pressure, and they have something called rain out, which is humidity in the long tubing. This particular unit, when you're carrying with you, you have an 8-foot cannula. And this particular cannula, you just plug in the machine, you can discreetly put it under your coat, and you hook it to your nose. What this does is with pulse dose. You have to think that the old style traditional oxygen, we all know, whether you're in a hospital or with the old machines, it was a continual flow. So if the doctor told you you're going to need to have 3 liters per hour, that liter flow was continual. Now think about this. We all inspire air and we all exhale air. So when you inspire, what happens is that's the time where you need to inhale that oxygen, and it goes to the deepest part of your lungs, down to the alveoli, which are at the bottom of your bronchial tubes. That gives you the best penetration. So if you're at 3 liters per hour, this machine, what it does is when you inhale, it gives you a jet of oxygen. When you exhale, it's not giving you oxygen. And because of a personal oxygen concentrator, they're so small, these particular pulse dose units are what allow them to be that small, because you're only using the oxygen when you inhale.
Wow,
And
so
you're not
your
wasting.
breathing triggers the burst of oxygen it gives.
That's correct.
Wow, that's interesting.
That piece of technology has really allowed the industry to downsize their equipment and their machines. When pulse dose originally came out, it was a unit that you would hook up to a tank or another machine, but it did not give you the ability to get out and ambulate as well. All the thing did was really conserve oxygen. So if you had a pulse dose unit hooked up to your small cylinder, some people do,
Right.
that conserves the oxygen that's in your reservoir, your cylinder, so that you can use it longer. The industry, this particular company, took it one step further and said, we'll manufacture a machine that has pulse dose technology in it, and that technology has allowed the filtering system, they're called sieve beds, to be able to be much smaller than a traditional concentrator. So when you think about 2.8 pounds, and it comes in a nice bag that you can carry alongside, it has a shoulder strap, it's opened up a whole new world to people on oxygen therapy. And we're real proud to be really the only company that sells this product in Michigan, but the three-county area for our viewers. This is a great machine, and like I've said, I've been in the oxygen business a very long time. I know this equipment, and I know the capabilities. And one can only hope, like we did with cell phones. You know, we used to say, when are they going to get smaller? When are they going to get smaller? Well, smaller is here, and we have it. So I'm real proud to have this product. I'm real proud to be able to feature this product and talk about this product, and available to answer questions should anyone have it. While I'm on the subject, for those people that do need continuous flow, there's a machine, it's called the Imogen at Home machine, and that machine is 18 pounds. It's still very, very small compared to traditional machines that are out there, oxygen concentrators. And that particular machine can deliver continuous flow up to 5 liters. So the difference is that if you did need continuous flow, this would not be the machine for you. You know, most people, they are under the misunderstanding that they need continuous flow, oxygen flowing all the time. That's because we all kind of grew up in this time where, you know, when you were plugged into a hospital wall unit and the oxygen was coming out of the wall, it was just continually flowing. Yeah. But people didn't realize that when they were sent home and the doctor said, you know, I need to write you a prescription for oxygen and you need to be on this therapy, they didn't realize the tanks and the big machines that came with it.
Yeah.
So this is a brand new world today.
And it's almost like they had to, you know, open up a whole second closet in their house just to fit all their oxygen tanks.
And the accessories. I mean, it was the carrying bag, it was the extra cannulas, it was all kinds of things that come with it. This is really a liberating opportunity for people that are on oxygen. And as I said earlier, the people that need continuous or constant flow at a high liter flow, they're more rare. People with COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and some of the other lung diseases, they can qualify for this unit. They can get out and go visit their grandchildren and play with their grandchildren. And you know, we sell this machine, we service this machine, and you know, we take care of everything. So when it comes to the Imogen family of oxygen equipment, we have it all. We have the larger unit, as I was saying, the Imogen at Home. We have the G4, which is the latest brand new unit on the market, and then its predecessor, the G3, which is a couple of pounds heavier, still very small. And one important distinction is this particular unit, the G4, can go 1 to 3 liters in liter flow for a patient. The G3, which is 2 pounds heavier, but still only 4 pounds, that can take you up to 5 liters of oxygen therapy.
That's fantastic. And yeah, I mean, just looking at that compared to the tanks, I mean, the patients that had the tanks in their home, they're always leashed their home. It's like their mobility is really limited to how long their cannula or the cord was. And I mean, I worked in EMS for a little while, and the tanks are dangerous. People don't think about it, but they're little rocket ships. They're compressed air in there. If that stem got broken off, they can shoot off. Their heat, since people don't realize it, put next to their fireplace, that's a danger. It seems like this is a safer option, more mobility, and just all around, let someone go back to normal life, not have all those concerns that we just mentioned and all that. That's a great product.
You know, Ryan and Brett, think about that patient too that wants to go to Florida in the wintertime. You know, do they really want to take tanks on an airplane? There are some issues in traveling with tanks, and where do I get them refilled? Here you have something that's FAA compliant. You can take this on the airplane. And oh, by the way, when you're driving in your car, you can plug it into the power charger in your car, and you can recharge the batteries. This comes with a standard battery that'll last you up to 4 hours, and you can recharge it along the way. Or many people buy the double life battery, which will give you about 6.5, 7 hours of charge. Or you can buy 2 batteries, so you always have one in reserve. Right. So the mobility is great, and it's very, very simple to operate. It's not confusing, and that's the greatest part about it. When you basically, it's quiet too. So it alarms just to tell you that the machine is on. It's an LED readout, as you guys can see.
Okay.
And then the machine starts cycling and turns itself on and starts creating the oxygen at a pulse dose.
Right.
So what you hear is as loud as this machine's going to get.
That's it right there.
Extremely quiet.
Wow.
And it doesn't keep you up at night, and it tells you how much battery life you have left in it. And right now we're at 100%, and it's just like a cell phone. It's got a little icon in it to tell you it's fully charged. And then as it wears down, it'll tell you to charge it. If it needs service for whatever reason, it'll alarm and it'll tell you it needs service. You just give us a simple call and we'll take care of it. And then also, you can adjust the liter flow with the plus or minus, so that if the doctor says you can be between 2 and 3 liters, you can adjust it yourself. We recommend most people not to adjust their liter flows. If the doctor writes a prescription and says, Ryan, I need you on 2 liters of oxygen therapy, pretty much you need to stay on it unless you talk to the doctor. And then finally, when the thing does need any service in terms of its filtering system, it'll let you know, and again, that's something that we can handle. So it's very, very easy and simplistic technology. Obviously, it's very complicated, but for patients, it's made very, very simple with just digital readouts, and then when you're done, you can turn it off, and the thing will cycle down and turn off. So it's really a great piece of technology that we're very excited to be able to not only feature on the show, but for our company to be able to have in this marketplace.
Well, that's a great product. And to the viewer who wrote into us, I hope this does answer your question. For more people, where can they purchase them? Are they available at any medical store, or how does this work if someone's looking to buy one?
This particular product and the Imogen product family of products is only available at Sun Medical Equipment Company, which is our company. And you can buy other units. They may not be as small, the technology may not be as good, but we are the only company that has this particular product. And that's because of our resources and our relationships and the length of time we've been in this business. We've been in business for over 36 years. So we like to think that we know a thing or two about oxygen. So patients can give us a call if they're interested in this.
Well, that's great. It's a cutting-edge product. It sounds like Sun Medical is staying on top of cutting-edge people. We really appreciate you coming on the show today to really just show this. If any viewers at home have any questions about any of the content they saw, where can you be reached? Where can they contact you?
They can reach me at Sun Medical Equipment Company. We have multiple locations, one in Pontiac at St. Joe's Hospital. We have one in the Romeo area, Washington Township, Michigan. And then we have a larger footprint in Troy, where we have a store in our warehouse where we keep everything. And the phone number is really easy to remember. It's 248-280-2020. And
Wow.
you can find us on Google. You can find us if you have Yellow Pages. You can find us just about everywhere, including seeing our trucks around, driving around town, delivering products like this to families and patients.
Well, thank you very much. That is all the time we have for today's episode. And you viewers at home, if you have any other questions, just like we did here, we'd be happy to feature an answer to your question, and you can email our show directly at boomerhealth@americaremedical.com. I want to thank John for coming on today. My co-host, thank you for joining me today as well.
Thank you.
And for everyone at home, stay healthy, stay happy, and thank you for watching.